A very good afternoon to all our viewers joining us from home. This is Lunchtime News on TV1. I am Jamal Ratnayaka for the Newsfirst team. Before we head into our stories in detail, let's start off with a look at your top stories. Shammi Silva to head Sri Lanka cricket. Report on COPA submitted to Parliament. Speaker says he has not received any names of MPs who consume narcotics. 6-month amnesty period granted for workers living illegally in Jordan. Bangladesh building fire deaths climb to at least 70. On to your lead story for this afternoon now. Shammi Silva, representing the Tilanga Sumatipala faction, was elected as the president of Sri Lanka cricket. Ravin Wickramaratne and K. Madivanan were elected as vice presidents, while Mohan De Silva was elected as the secretary of Sri Lanka cricket. Now, the SLC election was held at the Sports Ministry this morning. 25 individuals contested for 7 key positions at Sri Lanka cricket this time around. There were 142 votes cast today. Jayantha Dharmadasa contested for the position of President of Sri Lanka Cricket, representing Arjuna Rantunga's faction, while Mohan De Silva contested for the same position, representing Tilanga Sumatipala's faction. Arjuna Rantunga and K. Madivanan contested for the post of Vice President, representing Arjuna Rantunga's faction, while Ravin Wickramaratne and Shammi Silva contested, representing Tilanga Sumatipala's faction. The appeals committee rejected the nominations of Mohan De Silva and Ravin Wickramaratne, and the duo sought the intervention of the judiciary and requested for a writ petition against the rejection of their nominations. The petition was considered yesterday, and an agreement was reached to let Ravin Wickramaratne contest for the post of Vice President or Assistant Secretary, and Mohan De Silva be allowed to contest for the post of Secretary. Thereby, the election got underway this morning. On to yet another headline-making story for this afternoon. Now, the report of the Committee on Public Accounts regarding investigations carried out into 25 state institutions was presented in Parliament today. The report was tabled by the chairman of COPA, Lasantha Alagiyawanna. The Parliament convened this morning, and the Speaker announced that he has not received a document with a list of parliamentarians who are users of narcotic substances. With that, we move on to more local news. The All Ceylon Estate Workers Union convened a media briefing today. It has been nearly 6 months without signing the agreement for the salary increment of estate workers. The politicians and cabinet ministers told workers to win 1,000 rupees. We don't want less than 875 rupees. Therefore, we will discuss with the government and fight to get 1,000 rupees. If they would not give us 1,000 rupees, we will take action. On the 28th of January, the Prime Minister decreased the daily wage of estate work to 750 rupees. This is the current situation. Some MPs of the Tamil Progressive Alliance make the statement on the 5th of February. The previous wage was 140 rupees. They said that they will leave the government if this 40 rupees will not be added. But the MPs were in the government even on the 5th of February. They live very well. The minimum amount an estate worker can get is 800 rupees. Estate workers started demanding for this 1,000 rupees in 2016. They had to pay the missing amount for an year and 8 months. Thondaman said that he will leave the government if he couldn't win over 1,000 rupees, but they couldn't win 1,000 rupees yet. The daily wage of 875 rupees was decreased to 750 because of them. Vadivel Suresh, the joker, said enough jokes like that. They always betrayed the estate workers and pretended to stand for the estate workers. This should be stopped now. Several institutions have commenced a research study in the Trincomalee district to allow licenses to be granted for sand mining in the area. The research commenced at the Suryapura area in Kantale. The Ministry of Mahaveli Development and Environment, the Central Environmental Authority, the Wildlife Conservation Department and the Geological Survey and Mines Bureau was present at the location. They were accompanied by the Navy and police as well. A committee comprising all institutions have been carrying out the research at all places where the sand is being excavated. We have inspected over 16 such locations. The objective of this research is to award licenses so that the sand excavation is done in an environmentally friendly way after inspecting all the locations. The sand mining licenses in the Trincomalee district were suspended from the 15th of this month until the 28th of this month. This was done after taking into consideration the environmental impact and the complaints that were received regarding sand mining. A meeting of journalists and civil society activists was held in Galle yesterday in line with the Day of Social Social Justice and Equality. It was chaired by the chairman of the National Elections Commission, Mahinda Deshapriya. The Galle District Assistant Elections Commissioner's Office organized this program. The World Day of Social Justice. Why is this day important? Because this day represents quality, democracy, participation and non-neglect. As we know, these four pillars are holding the universal franchise of the country. All citizens can vote in the same way. No one will be dropped. But we have to stand for free and fair elections if we really need the universal franchise. We hope to inform people how to treat others equally and fairly through celebrating this day. We further inform people how to conduct a free and fair elections. A person has been apprehended on suspicion with a stock of conch shells in the Mohottuwarama area in Kalpitia. The Navy said that the suspect was illegally carrying the shells in a motorbike. 24 conch shells have been seized when the suspect was apprehended. The 43-year-old suspect has been handed over to the Kalpitia police for further investigation. On a similar note, 13 Indian fishermen who were poaching in Sri Lankan waters have been arrested in the northern seas. The Navy has seized 3 trawler boats as well. The suspects are to be handed over to the Kankasanture police station for legal action. 31 Indian nationals have been arrested for illegal poaching thus far this year. The Navy reiterates that it will carry out their operations to curb the illegal fishing carried out in Sri Lankan waters. The police have commenced investigations into a murder said to have been committed in the Kolabagama area in Katupatha, Kurunegala. A resident of Kanatte Wever in Kolabagama had been found murdered. Police say that the murder has taken place as a result of a property dispute. It has been revealed that the victim was an unmarried 50-year-old individual by the name of N.M. Herath. He has been beaten to death with a pole. The Katupatha police said that there had been several complaints from 2 parties in the area regarding a property dispute. A 36-year-old woman and her husband, who are suspected to have committed the murder, have surrendered to the police. Further investigations into the incident are currently underway. On to another headline-making story. Jordan has given a 6-month period for illegal immigrant workers to leave the country. The Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment said that the period will end on the 3rd of August. The Foreign Employment Bureau stated the Sri Lankan embassy has informed that 3,500 Sri Lankans are illegally living in Jordan. During the general amnesty period, the people concerned can come to Sri Lanka after resolving issues related to the violation of immigration rules. In addition, the Foreign Employment Bureau said they would be able to work during that period. The Bureau further states if there are illegal holders in Jordan, they will inform their relatives to arrange to get them back to their native country. Several reports on a type of dwarf men have surfaced over the past few weeks as sightings of these dwarf men, locally described as Nittava, begin to increase. Such a sighting was reported from the Vilachia area in Anuradhapura the other day. This woman, who resides in the Addatkala village in Vilachia, claims that she has witnessed a man last morning with a similar appearance to that of a dwarf.
මේ බබාට ඉස්කෝලේ යන්න ඕන හින්දා ඒ කරලා එළියට ඇවිදilla රෙදි වැල ගාවට ගිහිල්ලා ලේන්සු දෙකක් රෙදි වැලේ තිබුණා ඊටු එක බිමට වැටිලා තිබුණා මං ඒ රෙදි වැලේ තිබිච්ච දෙක අරගෙන අර බිම තිබිච්ච එක ගන්න බිමට නැමෙනකොටම මේ මිටි මිනිස්සෙක් ගොඩක් මහතයි කොණ්ඩේ මේ විදහාගෙන මේ නිකන් විකෘති මූණක් තියෙන මිනිස්සෙක් එකපාරටම මගේ අත ඇදලා ගත්තා.
Although a search operation was conducted following the sighting, such a man had not been found. The woman who faced the incident said she had sustained bruises as well. Our correspondent added that a similar case had been reported on a previous occasion from the exact area as well. Village residents claim that major attention should be given to this matter.
අපි කියන්නේ ඉතින් මේක මේ
We request the authorities to look into this issue because this has happened twice now to two separate individuals. Above all, these are grown-ups who have a general understanding of things. So please look into this matter.
පොඩ්ඩක් අවධානය යොමු කරලා බලන්න කියලා තමයි ඉල්ලන්නේ.
And with that, we draw to a close this edition of Lunchtime News on TV1. For the Newsfirst team, I've been Simon Ratnayaka. Take care and good afternoon.